I think that you interact with, that you identify with, that you associate yourself with. I tend to think of myself as middle class.
And like who you like hang out with?
Social class. There's people have different levels of wealth, education, and some people are lower social class, some are middle, some are high up.
1, 2.
Middle class.
Go.
Middle class.
Thing that really concerns me, because it's a topic that's been coming up more and more in recent years, especially with it being right after the election. So what we see is a lot of people who work really hard to make less money.
America.
I think it's becoming more and more skewed. The wealthy are getting wealthier, while the middle class is almost vanishing away. There isn't as much of a middle class as there used to be. Basically, people who used to work at General Motors and Alcoa and U.S. Steel are working at Walmart now.
Of it, they're worse off. They don't work as hard as others.
For rich people, like they're snotty, they don't care about anybody but themselves.
Yes.
Yeah, poor people are a bunch of drug dealers and drug smugglers. The wealthy are a bunch of stuck-up people who don't care about anyone but themselves.
So for the poor, we tend to see stereotypes. Usually we associate them with being dirty, drug use. We tend to associate them with crime, I think, as better dressed, having the nicer clothes, the more high-end tech, and usually snobby.
People should be going out and getting a job and earning their money instead of stealing it.
5.
I understand the motivation. I get it.
I don't know. That's hard because I can't really fault someone for needing to survive. I also don't think that when you're stealing, the people that you want to punish are the ones that are going to be punished for your crime. So when you steal food from the grocery store, it's not the millionaire or billionaire at the top of the chain that's going to lose out. It's the workers at that grocery store usually. So you're punishing the wrong people in your attempts to survive.
If it comes to like survival, then I mean like you gotta do what you gotta do.
It's generational. People choose not to overcome the barriers. They have to just try to it's harder for them. They have to try harder to overcome these different social barriers that they have. Like education is one of the major issues. Like people who are poor or with different ethnicities sometimes have a larger gap in education, which hurts them.
Age-old stereotypes that women and minorities are not as smart or not as capable as a white man. It's hard to break through that because even when we try to say, no, that's not the case, everybody's equal, there's still subconsciously in a lot of people that belief the man has to support the family.
we tend to justify paying them less money. So as a woman, we make something like 25 cents less on the dollar than a man would for doing the same job. You can have the same qualifications, the same exact abilities, but they're just justified in paying us less because there's no law or any sort of social standard that says otherwise.
They have the opportunity to pursue the career that they choose to do. They're given the opportunity, but it's not a right that they have it. You have to earn it.
My young people having the same chances to get ahead as my grandparents had. Depending on the individual. Many wealthy people, I'm sure, see the poor as the scum of the earth who take advantage of everything, and many people see the wealthy, if you're a poor person, as taking advantage of everyone and being greedy.
I don't know that I judge them, but I think there's a lot that you can learn about a person based on the social class that they identify in. So you can really learn, especially in my job, how to interact with different people based on even what they perceive their social class to be.
Same people, though, there are ways to pick yourself up. You don't, even though you may be poor today, you don't have to remain that way. This is what education does for people. Education is the great equalizer. Go to school.